computer. Hey there, I'm Mark Anderson with Chattanooga Stages, and we are in the last week of our competition for the Songwriters Stage. First, I want to thank our main sponsor is Mountain Music and also Soundcore, and we will talk more about them later. But tonight, we have an interview with Nancy Dwight Seiters. Did I pronounce that right? Seiters?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she is a contestant, a finalist. We have 8 finalists, and so that means she's gone through 2 rounds of eliminations, and a week, we're recording this on Saturday, a week from tonight is the final vote, and we will be announcing the winners at this time a week from now. And surely Nancy will be the winner, right? We have a judges category and the people's choice category. So, and there's a first and second place in both of those. So there's ballots, an online ballot that will be available in a couple of days. And our judges, Anthony Quayles, Stratton Tingle, and Denise Adeniyi, or the divine poetess, are our judges, and they are going to have a hard time with this round of contestants. So let's get to know Nancy. Hi there.
Hi.
How long have you been in Chattanooga?
I think this is my 10th year in Chattanooga.
Do you love it here?
I do. I think it's a great city.
Isn't this a great artistic vibe place?
It is. I have a big community of creatives that I'm around, so that is a great thing. So yeah,
that's what I've found too. And where were you before this?
Well, before I moved to Chattanooga, I was living in Leadville, Colorado. So,
Leadville?
Yeah.
That's an infamous little city, mountain town, Leadville.
To a Western town. It's got a great vibe. It's super interesting. I was just thinking about it this week because they're really into St. Patrick's Day. They love it so much they actually have, but it's very snowy. So they have a practice St. Patrick's Day parade, and then they have the real St. Patrick's Day parade. So it's like the parade town. It's really fun.
Well, it's kind of infamous for some wild, it's the epitome of gold miner town, wild stuff. My dad has a story of going through there. One of my old friends in Utah was born there, and it's like has an aura of itself. So you're from Leadville. Maybe
well,
not.
I lived there right before moving here. I'm actually originally from Sewanee, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice, Sewanee. So you're a Tennessee gal, native.
Yeah, I'm from here.
All right. And so let's see. What else do we want to know about your singing style? I was fascinated. We will get to hear your song later. But how did you develop your singing style? Who kind of influenced you?
Oh, I don't know. People ask me that a lot. I actually really didn't think I could sing as a child. So I kept trying out for plays and stuff and they always made me sing Happy Birthday, and that's a really hard song to sing. so that was I really a singer in my house and in my car and in private places. But I love things like, I love singers in bands like Cowboy Junkies growing up. And so
Are you a Gillian Welch fan? Do you know who she is?
Yes. I lived in Nashville for a long time and loved Gillian Welch and would go see her live all the time. So definitely big influencer. Rickie Lee Jones is another big influence, I would say. So there's some different. Okay.
So your song, your entry song, Never Leave the Room.
Yes.
What was the setting of this? Why did you write this song?
Well, I think I'm often writing songs in my head. And so I think right before the pandemic, and maybe about 10 days before the pandemic, I got that song in my head and I wrote it down really quickly. And I played it for Charles, my bass player. He plays bass with me he's been playing with me for like 8 years. And I said, well, because we had a performance maybe in 3 days. And I said, can we just play this song? It seems like it's got some pretty simple chords and you think we can put this together? And he said, oh, sure, we'll do that. So we played that. I wrote it, showed it to Charles, and we played it for my students on like an assembly on that Friday, right before the lockdown. So that was really interesting because after we did that, I listened to the words and thought, this is a very interesting song to have popped up.
Really profound. It sounds like a lockdown song, like you would have written it
Right.
sometime during the last 9 months.
It actually was written a week before. So that was, and it was interesting because it kind of, it's a bit soothing. It helps you, sort of the message of the song kind of helps you think about like, we're going to be okay. It's, we've got a lot of things to do just within the space that we have. So we don't have to worry about getting on a jet plane and flying away. We can.
Just I could mention it tonight. It is March 20th, 2021. So it is exactly 1 year. I remember March 21st, a year ago, we were going to do kind of a house show with a couple of poets. And everything came down that week. I mean, they shut the city down and we had to decide what we were going to do. And we went ahead and we probably could have done it, but we went ahead and canceled our show. So, but there's been so much written because it's so such an emotional impact. A lot of stuff has been written in the last 12 months.
Right.
But this came out serendipitously, whatever that word is, a week before. Very interesting. So, so some of the lyrics, we don't have to go far, travel the whole world with you, never leave the room. And then you go into a bridge. Why is everybody running? What they so afraid of?
Right. That was a little bit bizarre. Yes.
So that's your perspective of a chaotic world?
Right, but that was before the pandemic. So I guess, it could have been about anything. But, maybe, I don't know where these things come from, Mark, but, I think that song is really about a lot of things that people want to interpret into it. But maybe I was thinking a lot about people wanting to leave and move and change their worlds. And maybe we just need to settle down and really enjoy the world that we have, the place where we are, and making the best of where we are. And
okay.
Don't panic.
Basically, what I love about the song, though, is the contentedness of it. Because all the lyrics point to just say, hey, look, we don't need to run or go anywhere. Right here in this moment is our place.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's like, wow. So it's a really precious song. And you do it very well. So, where can tell us more about your music career? What are you doing? Do you have albums out? Do you do Spotify or band? Where do you put your music?
Well, I've been playing for a long time, and I started playing and writing music really when I was a teenager, but not really writing songs and music out and performing until I was in my early 20s. And I recorded my first album called Ribbons and Twine, and there was a short version, maybe an EP, and then I did Ribbons and Twine 2. And I honestly don't know where they are anymore. they're somewhere in the recording world. But I think, yeah, they're out there. And I would love to, I think I have some digital versions of it, but I would really love to record again. I have so many songs, and I just haven't really had the resources to do it. And I would really like to do that. I don't have a whole lot of interest in performing a ton, not really interested in pursuing that. I love what I do, and I just want to record it. So
you mentioned your bass player. So this contest was for solo singer-songwriters.
mm-hmm.
Do you play with a band?
I do. Well, I play with Charles Gaston, and I play with I play with some different musicians. So it on pretty regularly. So that tends to be my regular gig, but I don't play that much. So Patrick Dugan plays guitar, plays mandolin sometimes.
Okay.
And
all local guys.
Yeah. And I have friends in Nashville that sometimes I play music with, but I haven't in a while. And
So would you say that this contest then in a way gave you a chance to get out without getting out?
Oh yes. I'm very excited about that kind of setup. I think that's really nice for us to be able to get our music out in a way that is something that I'm very comfortable with. And because I have done the songwriting competition quite a few times at, where is it that we usually have it?
The Camp House.
Yes, and to be honest, I don't do it for winning or placing or anything. I just really love doing that because the sound system at the Camp House was so great, and it's really fun to play there and hear everything with the sound. So that was really the main reason why I did that, and I never told anybody that I was doing that, so I would always show up and never say anything.
Nothing can replace that experience, and we are trying to virtually but it kind of opens it up to people that might not be able to do that, and it's something we've tried this, and we may do it after this pandemic, and but kind of combine too, like have people enter online and post their videos, and then the winners come down to the Camp House or some place for the finales and stuff. So we will post your website or whatever at the end of this video so that people can follow you. And let's see, I'm supposed to wrap up now. I'm so professional about this. Where's the sound guy? Fade out.
Hi, my name is Nancy Dwight Seiters, and this is my entry for the Chattanooga Stages. It's called Never Leave the Room. Take me to the beaches south side of town. Take me to the mountains so we can look around. I can see the desert, I can taste the sea. Look out at the city through the window pane. 'Cause we don't have to go far, we don't have to say it. I'll travel the world with you and never leave the room. It's all that we can do, stuck in the middle, deep in the ocean, and never leave the room. I don't need a jet plane to see the northern lights. I can sit and wonder at my own sky. Show me all the pictures inside your mind. I can paint them, sing them, make them shine. So we don't have to go far, we don't have to say it. I'll travel the world with you and never leave the room. It's all that we can do, stuck in the middle, deep in the ocean, and never leave the room. Why is everybody running? What are they so afraid of? So we don't have to go far, we don't have to say it. I'll travel the world with you, never leave the room. It's all that we can do, stuck in the middle, deep in the ocean, and never leave the room. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you.